yes, my hair is soaking wet, and that's because I'm about to go to work. But before that happens, I do want to do a video for today, which is my 25 and 25. I spent all of yesterday making this super cute spread, which I just love. I went overboard with the stickers, and I want to tell you about some of the books that I am prioritizing in 2025. Disclaimer, I don't know the summary of all of these, but the ones I do know, I promise I will tell you. And also, if I'm a little bit low energy in today's video, let's just actually get a little bit closer. I don't like how far away from me you are. I'm gonna be lower energy in this video just because I have a lot to do this week, and also because I'm getting sick. Like, my throat hurts really badly, so thank you for bearing with me. But book number one is Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. This story follows a woman who is interacting with like this donut shop owner, and she has a lottery ticket, and then she like leaves the shop suddenly, leaving behind her winning lottery ticket. He turns to social media to try to track her down. This brings a lot of good publicity to his business. They decide to fake date for 3 months, and as we all know, fake feelings turn to real love. Then I have Make Room for Love, and the only thing I know about this is that it is a sapphic romance, and that is all I needed to know. Lost and Lassoed is the third book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. These covers are just beautiful. I did read the second book in this series, and it wasn't my perfect read, but I've been hearing really great things about this one, so I'm hopeful it's going to work better for me. Small town cowboy romance. Don't Let the Forest In. No, this one's queer. It's MM, and I think it's about like obsessive love. Scary goth story that has me written all over it. Lights Out. This has been trending everywhere, and for very hilarious reasons. It's because the audiobook is so funny. So we have this woman who's being stalked by this man, except our girl is just like every other girl, because all she does is go to work and then go home and watch TV. She's watching the same like 5 episodes of Grey's Anatomy, and her stalkers just like text her from the window and it's like, we've seen this episode 5 times already, like change the channel. And that's the clip to me that went viral, which I thought was so funny. I hear the audiobook for this is fantastic, so I want to listen to the audiobook, but it is a dark like stalker romance. Power Play by Chelsea Curto. I really don't know much about this one. I think she's like some kind of healthcare professional on his team, or she's a reporter on his team. She's something to the team, and it's like a hockey sports romance. The only thing I know about this is that I've seen a lot of people buy this, and people keep telling me, Shar, you've got to read this. So there you go, besties. I'm gonna read this in 2025. Double Apex is another sports romance. All I know about this one is that it's Formula One like racing, so race car drivers, and I'm trying to get more into my sports romance era. The Crimson Crown. I can't believe I forgot this came out in 2024, but this is by Heather Walter, who's also the author of Malice, which is one of my all-time favorite books. This is a sapphic Snow White retelling, and I think it's from the perspective of the evil queen, so I'm very excited to read it. I hope it's a lot like Malice and the good for her elements of the story. I cannot figure out the angle of this video because I feel like I'm slouching, and now I feel like you're too high up. Is that better? A Wolf Steps in Blood. All I know about this one is that it is a paranormal romance. I think it might be queer, but I know for sure it's something that people have loved, and it seems like it's going to be a good time. I love a paranormal romance, and this one's about a werewolf shifter. Through the Midnight Door. I've read this summary before, but I'm really not recalling much of it. What I remember about it is that I think it's like a haunted house. These siblings used to like play in a haunted house in their youth, and they grow up and leave, but then one of them dies or disappears or something, and they're forced to come back to that creepy ass house. And that sounds really similar to a plot of a book that I loved, which is If You See Her by Anya Alborn. I don't think it's going to deliver the exact same things, but you all know I love a haunted house story. Werewolf's Guide for Seducing a Vampire. This is something that my friend read and she has absolutely loved, and she told me I have to read, so I'm adding it to my TBR. I think the title tells you everything you need to know. The Spell Shop. This one got some amount of hype this year. It is the story of this woman, I believe, who like owns a shop, and magic might be forbidden, and she falls in love with her neighbor. That is the shittiest summary you've ever heard, but truthfully, sometimes I just read summaries for books, say yes, that's my thing, add it to my TBR, and then forget what the summary is. I just know that at some point I wanted to read it. So The Spell Shop. The Love Lyric by Christina Forrest. I believe this is the final series in in the Green Sisters trilogy, and we're following, I think her name is Iris, and she is the eldest sisters of the Green. She is a single mother to a little girl. Her husband passed away. I think I'm going to really love this because it is a serious single mom, ex, goofy, silly rock star. And that just sounds like a lot of fun, but I also just know that I really enjoy Christina Forrest's writing style. Play Along by Liz Tomford. This is a continuation, of course, of the Windy City series. You all know The Right Move was one of my absolute favorites. I liked Caught Up, but it wasn't my absolute favorite, and this one follows the younger brother of Kai in book 3, and then they're like sports. I think she's a medical professional. Like, she helps them with their injuries and stuff, and he's always been flirting with her, and they get like married in Vegas, and they're trying to go from there. I believe it's fake marriage because they need to be serious in their relationship, because otherwise they're like conflating with each other is a conflict of interest on the team. Happy Medium follows a woman who is a big fat liar. She definitely claims that she is psychic and that she has the ability to speak to spirits and ghosts, but she's 100% full of shit, and she gets a case where she goes and lo and behold, there's actually a ghost, and she can talk to the ghost, and now she is charged with not only convincing the hero of the story that she's not a scammer, she is, but that he is also in danger and needs to listen to the advice of his ancestor who is haunting the home that he is trying to sell. God of the Woods by Liz Moore. It follows the story of this person who works at a summer camp, and one day she finds that a little girl, like 13, 14 years old, is missing from her cabin. But this little girl isn't just anyone. She is in fact the daughter of the family that like owns this summer camp. They're a very wealthy and prominent family, and in fact several years ago they lost their son the same way, with him just suddenly disappearing, and now we're trying to solve what happened while also diving deeper into the family's stories. This is a long, chunky book, but I think I could get into it. I'm feeling like 2025 might be my year of scarier stories, because 2024 was definitely my year of romance. Speaking of romance, The Lovers. This is a story that my coworker read, and she absolutely adores. She says that it's one of her favorite books of the year. This cover is stunning. It's a sapphic romance. That's really all I need to know. I trust her opinion, and so I will be prioritizing this in 2025. Curvy Girl Summer is another book that I added to my TBR based off of the positive reviews that I saw. I don't really know what this one's about. I know that it is a plus size heroine and a black romance, and that is all I needed to know. Isabel and the Rogue is another recommendation from my coworker. This is a book that she really loves, and again, I trust her opinion. This is a different coworker. I think it's a historical romance, but apparently there's this very steamy scene that made her blush, and so I am going to be reading this. You Should Be So Lucky is by Kat Sebastian, and it is an historical romance set in the 1950s. We have our hero who is a baseball player, and then we have our other hero who is a reporter, and they fall in love. Quicksilver! This one 100% is based off of hype alone, although my boss did just read this and told me like it's one of her favorite books of all time now. It very quickly got a Netflix adaptation, which will be coming out in the next few years, but beyond that, I don't know shit about this book. I just know that it's gotten a lot of hype, and I hope it works a lot better for me than Fourth Wing. We have I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend, which the title is exactly what it sounds like. I believe that's what this story is about. You can see from the cover, I had this recommended to me because I was looking for more diverse monster romances, and this one came up. Fake Flame is an arc that I got gifted to me by a friend, and this is a firefighter romance. Well, I got the arc. I believe the book is already published at this point, but the story follows this woman who's a professor, and she has this ex-boyfriend who's like really annoying and doesn't understand boundaries at all. Like, their relationship was extremely toxic. She leaves him. He's not okay with that, but he decides to do one big romantic grand gesture, come to her job, set up a piano on the quad of the college campus she works at, and play a song she doesn't even like. People, of course, view this, think, oh, that's so romantic, but she knows what a piece of shit this man is and how much he's been stalking and harassing her. So homegirl sets the piano on fire. You know, she's just at her wit's end. That summons the fire department, which introduces us to our hero. He realizes the situation and they end up fake dating to get her creepy ass ex-boyfriend off her back. When I Think of You is another one that I don't know the summary of, but this cover is absolutely beautiful. It is another Black love contemporary romance and I'm very excited to read it. And finally, Miss Kimberly Lemming is coming out with a new book and a new series from her with just as fun of a title. This is I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com. Yep, Kimberly Lemming tends to write really funny, silly, goofy, like fantasy, paranormal romances, which I love. This is, I believe, her first venture into sci-fi romance, so I'm super excited to pick this up. I think it's going to be such a silly, goofy time. But besties, that is it. Those are my 25 in 25. Of course, there's other books that I will be prioritizing, but these are the books that I'm aiming to get to throughout the year. And in fact, I will need you to hold me accountable to that via potentially a series I'll do, like where I read 3 or 4 of these a month and then just post a reading vlog about it. Let me know if that's something you are interested in, and if you've gotten to the end of this video and you want to let me know, leave me a little flower emoji. Any flower of your choice in the comments below, and I will see you the day after tomorrow. Bye!